Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're here for the first time. Hi, my name is Procheta, and here I discuss books, life, and show you ordinary snippets from my little life. Today we are going to talk about this book that I recently finished. It's called The Almanack of Naval Ravikant. It's a collection of tweets, blogs, articles that Naval has written on Twitter. Maybe he's spoken about it in podcasts somewhere, with a foreword by Tim Ferriss. We're going to discuss and analyze this book today. First of all, what a genius book! What a genius book, okay? There are few books that I admire among the thousands of books that I have read and I continue to read. This ranks high among them. I'll tell you why. I've read a lot of philosophy and I've read a lot of stuff. Okay. It's not to boast, but to say the fact that Naval compiles and sort of conjoins curiosity with philosophy and with spirituality extremely well in this book, and I'll tell you why, right? So, I am on a trip right now. I've been reading this book since the last 4 to 5 days, and my one thought. So, right now, I am almost at the end of the book on page 195, and my singular thought throughout this book was what a genius book. Why? Because he starts with talking about the game of wealth creation, which is something that we're all a part of, right? We're all a part of this huge, undefinable sort of a rat race. We have to make wealth in order to survive. If not wealth, at least money. Wealth is what he says generates income for you when you are asleep. So you don't have to trade your time for money. You know, that's like a business, or like YouTube, or like maybe stocks or investments. This is all passive wealth generation. So he says that building income is quite a fun thing to do and quite a necessary thing to do, because he very openly acknowledges in this book that in the physical plane that we live in the physical hard world, I think money solves almost all the problems, at least in the physical world, if not any other thing. So, to get rid of most problems, you'd need money. So, wealth creation is a fun and a very important game for that. So, he goes on to then describe which skills are essentially important for wealth creation, and he lists out certain fundamentals. He talks about his own background. So, fun fact, by the way, I have this whole notes app where I have critically listed down in bullet points what all I have to talk about. He lists these important skills, among which he mostly emphasizes on understanding mathematics, which it fascinated me very much when he said that mathematics is like the language of nature. It's the language in which nature speaks. Geometry is the language in which nature speaks, and he says science for him is almost like spirituality. Understanding the basics of science and not advanced concepts is like worshipping a god, because he says it makes him feel very small. So he lists out certain skills that are important. Most importantly, he talks about adaptability. Adaptability to anything and everything that comes your way, because the world that we are living in is uh, it's a hugely dynamic place. It changes almost every day. So one of the greatest skills that any human being can possess in this ever changing world is probably adaptability. Another thing that he talks about is sticking to the basics of any subject and building specific knowledge. And I'm coming to this building specific knowledge part. So we know general knowledge, right? General knowledge is any and everything that's happening in the world, falls under the whole umbrella term of general knowledge. But specific knowledge is a niche knowledge, like something that is a very particular set of skills designed for a particular job that not everybody can do. It needs you. So to make wealth, then you need specific knowledge. You need something that you're passionate about and something that you have a certain set of specific knowledge in. So it must be that intersection of what people want and what you want, you are driven about, you like doing it, and then building specific knowledge in that. Only then are you going to be able to make something off of it. He talks about the importance of reading books, which I fully agree that reading books is perhaps one of the most, it's one of the most mind boggling and eye opening things anybody can do, because most of the things that you come across, I have in my life either known it through YouTube or through books. I'm very lucky and grateful that my parents have exposed me to reading at a very early age. It has helped me develop a open perspective to things from very early on. About working, he says so many things, and this is like a collection of tweets. So every single tweet is like a rare gem. I probably will take this book to my grave because it's just such a wonderful book, because this covers everything from, and these are my first thoughts on reading the book, which is why it may seem a little whimsical and unfiltered and unorganized, but this is my honest opinion about the book, is that it covers everything from wealth building to spirituality to literally everything else, like love and life. So, as I was saying, the book covers everything from wealth creation to meditation to acceptance to love to life to philosophy to building skills to just everything from the basics of life, from survival instinct to then building wealth to building luxury, which is just creating enough wealth to have time to yourself, to have the space and the freedom to do what you want, and then transcending it and talking about life as a whole, talking about death, talking about philosophy, talking about meditation, which is why this makes her one of the greatest books I have read. I've read a lot of Osho, I've read a lot of Japanese Zen books, I've read a lot of spiritual teachers. I've read I've read extensively. I've read Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and this probably ranks high up with them. Every page contains such penetrating and such beautiful nuggets of wisdom. It's not even clever talk, it's pure wisdom. It's like these little pearls of wisdom, which I very much resonated with. There's hardly anything in the book that I don't agree with. Okay. I agree with everything that he said, and I loved the book. I loved it incredibly. Um, about work, something that I would like to emphasize is about work. He says you must do that which you are passionate about. You should stop emulating others and do something that you are passionate about. Like I am doing YouTube because I genuinely felt a certain love for creating. Even if I don't get money off of this, I don't get paid off of this, I love doing this, and I will do this for as long as I'm capable of doing it, for as long as I have the opportunity and resources to do it. So he says you should do that kind of work which feels like play for you. You shouldn't be doing that kind of work which feels like heavy, mind boggling, and difficult tasks for you. Only that way you can easily outgrow others. If work really feels like 8 hours of pain in the ass for you, then probably that's not something that you're good at. He also talks about the fact that every human being has something or the other that they're talented in, that they are good at, and it's something very precious, because most people think that, oh, I'm a good for nothing, you know. Even talented people feel like that sometimes, but it's so important to note that if you're passionate about gaming, maybe that's what you're good at. Maybe that's something that you've not explored yet. So you just have to, he says, you just have to try things out. You have to figure things out as you go along the way. Everybody's making it up. Nobody has it figured out at all. He also talks about being part of the rat race, is something that I would also like to address in this video. We're all part of the so-called societal rat race, right? Even if mentally you are not, you still need money to survive, which means you're part of the rat race. Which then brings us to freedom. And Naval, he says that freedom is his number one value. It's his core value. It's something that is uncompromisable. The only way that it has transformed or transcended in its definition from when he was young till now is that when he was young, he wanted the freedom to do certain things, like freedom to do whatever I want, freedom to say whatever I want, freedom to drink what I want, to do what I want, to eat what I want, like that. Like, I don't, the tendencies that teenagers have right now, when he's like 30, 35, 40, or 43 maybe, or maybe I don't know his age, maybe he's older than that, but he says now the definition has kind of changed to freedom from anger, freedom from irritation, freedom from compulsive habits, freedom from thoughts, freedom from emotions, which brings him to talk about meditation in several places. He talks about meditation extensively. And he says he's read Eckhart Tolle, which I have also read, and it's so beautiful how he says that for him, enlightenment is the space between two thoughts. It's nothing else but the space between two thoughts. And so, if ever for a moment your brain completely shuts down, you will have transcended most of your problems. In my experience, it's very true. I practice meditation and yoga daily. It's a part of my life, and I can see in how many ways it has completely transformed my life. It's taken me, I would like to say, a little beyond my mind, so that I can see everything from a distance. Another thing is about life. He's read a lot of Osho, and he says, in page 194, he says, there's no meaning to life. There is no purpose to life. Osho has said it's like writing on water or building houses of sand. The reality is you've been dead for the history of universe 10 billion years or more. You will be dead for the next 70 billion years or so, until the heat death of the universe. Anything you will do will fade. It will disappear, just like the human race will disappear and the planet will disappear. Even the group who colonizes Mars will disappear. No one is going to remember you past a certain number of generations, whether you're an artist, poet, conqueror, pauper, or anything else. There is no meaning to the game of life. There is no meaning to the game of life. I just loved it. He has said in one place, this is his take on life, which I thoroughly agree with. He says, your life is a firefly blink in the night. You are here for such a brief period of time. If you fully acknowledge the futility of what you're doing, I think it can bring great happiness and peace, because then you realize this is all a game. It's a fun game, but all that matters is that you experience reality as you go through life. Why not interpret it in the best way possible? Your life is a firefly blink in the night. This is what I'd like to say in regards to my life as well. I also think that My life has no meaning in the larger scheme of the universe. I'm just a speck of dust in this huge universe, and the book makes you feel so small. It makes you feel so small. You transcend your survival instinct while reading the book, and it's so important that you do that, because if you're always stuck in survival mode, you will never be able to realize the beauty of life, the fragrance of life, the essence of life, the goodness that is life. He talks about mastering the basics of macro and microeconomics, probability and statistics, the fact that you probably should have mastered it inside out, because those are two things that are extremely important in life. He talks about total acceptance as one of the most important facets of a human life, because the moment you accept something, you transcend it. So he talks about total acceptance. He talks about Jiddu Krishnamurti and Osho a lot. These are two people that are, I'm a big fangirl of both. I'm a big whatever. JK wouldn't have liked this statement, but I really, um, I resonate with what they say. So this is the almanack of Naval Ravikant, which talks about, it's a comprehensive guide to wealth, happiness, peace, freedom, and everything in between. It's a guide to life, really. I would highly encourage every one of you, if even two people are watching my video, I would want you to pick up this book. If you've reached until this point in the video, please comment almanac in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next video. Just remember one quote that I will put a picture of right here: easy choices, hard life; hard choices, easy life. Peace. Don't forget to subscribe.